tariffs and the fact that 3 months from now, when you go into the Ford dealership to buy that Ford Bronco, and it's now $2,000 more expensive, and the dealer explains to you that that's because of tariffs on Canada and Mexico, and when people start seeing that their meat is not being inspected by the FDA and people are getting salmonella, when Republican voters start experiencing that, you are going to see a political reaction, if I may use the president's phraseology, like you've never seen before.
And it feels like we can do this another day. I'm not going to drop the whole sort of values that America has represented around the world with USAID and starving children and Ukrainian children that have been kidnapped. I know you care about those things, but I take your point on this. Talking to the American people about what it looks like when the government goes away. I heard this from another very smart Democrat, that we're going to see what it looks like when, you know, the over-the-counter drug supply isn't safe anymore, when poultry isn't inspected anymore, when milk and meat aren't inspected anymore. How do you do both things? How do you communicate with the country that that's what happens when the federal government goes away? And how do you also, as the party in the minority, try to protect the American people and your constituents?
Well, you know, Donald Trump and the Republicans are about to stumble into the same trap that Democrats stumbled into in the election of 2024, right? If I can sort of draw a little bit of a cartoon here, we were pounding the table on saving democracy, which is an absolutely critical thing, but it's an abstraction to most Americans, right? And Americans were saying, yeah, look, I think democracy is important and women's reproductive rights are important, but chicken costs $12 a pound. If I could summarize the election in 20 seconds, that's the way I would summarize it. The Republicans are now going to say, gosh, I love the idea of cutting the federal government, and I love a more efficient government, but that Ford Bronco is $2,000 more expensive, and my mom, who's in a nursing home, now doesn't have her Medicaid and is going to be living with me in my basement. So they are about to see what happens when you go from a good-sounding abstraction to real pain in real people's households. And you're going to see political numbers move, again, as Trump would put it, like you've never seen them before.
All right, you're going to come back on the values conversation. I take your political point, but there's got to be space for it. Congressman, it's great to talk to you. Thank you for taking the time to visit with us today.
Thank you, Nicole.
Still ahead for